Okay, so hi, my name is Rebecca. Maiden name Rebecca Hay. And it's nice to meet you all. And I came to Pakistan in May and did a bit of traveling there, and it was so good to see the country. And I'm just really happy to be here and be part of this experience. So thank you for having me.
That is wonderful. That is wonderful to hear. You came back in March, right?
May.
May. All right, I
Yeah,
misheard that. You came in May.
yeah.
So, what was the reason that you were in Pakistan?
So I work with some people who are from Pakistan, and every time they would go back home and come back, they would say, "Oh, the mangoes, the food," and I
Mhm.
love climbing mountains. And I talk about mountains in England, and they're like, "No, that's not real mountains. Come to Pakistan, you'll see the real mountains." So they invited me out there, and I thought, I'm just going to go and I'm going to do it, and it was just amazing. So yeah, we went up to Swat, up to the Chinese border, did all like the mountains, the rafting, ate so many mangoes, experienced the culture, the music, the people. It was just phenomenal. And yeah, it's changed my life really going on that trip.
So,
So
so it's safe to say that you're a huge fan of mangoes now,
yeah,
particularly the mangoes you get in Pakistan.
yeah. Well, I've been going to the Pakistan market in England and paying £5 for a mango. So yeah.
I mean, here you can get a lot of things for cheap compared to the other
I
countries.
know, I know.
That's one of the best things about being in Pakistan sometimes, right?
Yeah.
So that is good to hear. So you went up to the Chinese border, right? So where else
Yes.
did you go?
So we went to Clam, Gilgit, Mahoodan Lake, Atabad Lake, and then we kind of just did like a loop back down, and then we flew to Karachi for a night as well. So I kind of got to see a bit of both sides really, but I'd
Okay.
like to go back and see some of the mountains a bit more.
We would
So
love to have you here again, honestly speaking.
yeah, I'm hopefully coming back soon.
Soon. You should let us know. You should let everyone here
I will
at Etiquette
do.
Foundation know, and we would welcome you. Like some of us might even come to pick you at the airport. We are
There'll be a big queue of people, so I've heard.
exactly. So out of all these places, which one was your favorite?
Definitely just the northern areas in probably like Mahoodan Lake area where it's just
Mhm.
because we traveled through the night up there, so I didn't really see the scenery on the way up there, so I didn't really know where I was. And then when I woke up in the morning, I came out of the tent and it was just this massive lake with
Mhm.
mountains. I was just unbelievable, and the stars, and it was just so beautiful.
You know
So
what's
yeah.
one of the wonderful things about being in the north? Like you can even drink the tap water there. Like if you
Yeah, I
got
was
the running
drinking
tap water,
glacial
you can
water.
easily
Yeah.
drink it. It's like crystal clear. And it's very clean. It's easily drinkable. So
Well,
did you
I
experience that?
since I've come back to the UK, I don't drink tap water at all now because I've tasted it compared to Pakistan clean water.
Exactly.
So,
But I believe that's only in the northern areas. Like when you come
yeah.
to Karachi, Karachi is more like a metropolitan area. Karachi, Lahore, Islamabad. You won't be getting that. Just like
Okay. Okay.
where are you from exactly? Like, are you in London, Manchester, Liverpool? Where?
I'm from Newcastle originally, from a little village just north of Newcastle, so quite north. And I went to university in Liverpool and worked there for 7 years. And I lived in Wales as well. And then I recently moved to Jersey, which is a little island next to France, in between UK and France.
So it is like you've traveled like a lot.
Yeah, yeah, I've
Yeah,
lived a few
that's great.
places. Yeah.
Which is like again the same kind of question. Which one is your favorite place, and which one would you like to keep going constantly again and again?
In to live, they're all very different. So I love beaches and mountain areas. I quite like Jersey because it's an island, so it's got very beautiful beaches there. For my dog as well, it's good to walk the dog
You
in the
got a
scenery.
dog. What's his name? Like
Yes.
his or her? What's
It
the name?
he's called Oscar, so he's a big
Oscar.
Dalmatian.
Nice.
Yeah, so he's
Okay.
11 years old now. So we
Very
go
nice.
everywhere together. So he loves the
Mhm.
beach. So Liverpool is very much a city. So for him, it wasn't really very good there. But yeah, I like to live in Jersey.
That's good. You know, since you talked about beaches and all, you did you explore Karachi more than you wanted to? Like because we've got a lot of beaches. Like we've got this main beach, Karachi. In the Karachi, it's called the DHA beach or Seaview, and then you've
Yeah.
got a lot of beaches in Balochistan as well. Like the
No,
ones I've been to is in Kund Malir. I went to. There's this mountain called the Princess of Hope. It is.
yeah.
I'm not kidding. Have you been there?
No, I haven't been there yet.
I'm
No.
not kidding. It is okay. First, I have spotlighted your video for everyone. Okay. Uh, so like the Princess of Hope is a mountain, and it is actually shaped like a woman dressed in like a proper royal outfit.
Oh,
And it was
really?
made, it happened naturally. That's what people tell me. When I went there, I was still shocked and amazed at the
Oh,
same time.
I'll put
So
it on
you
my
can,
list.
you should definitely, but make sure to go there sometime in the winter because it gets really hot in Balochistan. Like
Okay.
I
Yeah.
went there sometime in March last year, and
Yeah.
it was really hot, honestly. And you don't get a lot of cell phone signals there, so you got to prepare for everything like that.
Yeah, I found Karachi very, very hot. The heat was very
Yes.
different from the north, so I struggle
Yeah.
with that a little bit.
Mhm. But you
But
can find good beaches here in Karachi. Like there's only one beach that we have in Karachi, and it's like a tourist attraction for everyone. We've got the like sea view,
yeah.
and there's a big McDonald's there as well. So everyone they go to McDonald's and then they take their food, they go to sea view.
Oh, okay.
And then there's like we've got a chain of restaurants at this place called Do Daria. Do is basically it's like one and two, right? The two. The
Right.
place called Do Daria. So we've got like really fancy restaurants over there. There's like kebabjis. There is, I guess I only remember kebabjis because that's the one I usually go to. We've got
Okay.
like five, six restaurants over there as well, and they're really nice. The whole view and everything. So if you do come to Karachi, I would advise you to visit that,
Okay, I
especially
will
for
do.
yeah. How many countries? Like since we're on the topic of, I for one haven't really traveled as much. I have been to Multan for a wedding. It was my uncle's wedding when I was like 10, and there was this thing called being a shavala. Like I don't remember. I was like 9 or 10 at the time, and he's basically the right hand man to the groom. And I
Yeah.
still don't know what it means, right? And I was there, and I was like dressed up in this fancy shadi wedding. It's like the mini groom. You dress him
Yeah.
up like the mini groom. So I went to Multan once, and I've been to Kunmalir, I've been to Islamabad, and a couple of the northern areas, and that's it for me. But you, what other countries have you traveled to?
I've been to Iceland, Brazil, Turkey, quite a lot of Europe because obviously England's right next to Europe, so it's quite easy to get a flight across to France, Spain, Italy, that sort of thing. So I've done a few places in Europe, but Pakistan's definitely the best place I've been. You'll be pleased to know.
No, that's good. You should visit all the other countries, like even Turkey. Turkey is kind of close to the European
Oh
Union,
no,
but
Turkey. I've done Turkey a few times.
that's good.
Yeah,
Yeah, I heard. Yes, you've been to
yeah,
Turkey, and like Pakistan and Turkey, we've got like good terms and everything, and being a
yeah,
Muslim country here and there as well.
yeah,
So technically, Turkey would have been the first.
yeah,
But Turkey is a wonderful place as well. Okay,
yeah.
I've been itching to ask this question. I what kind of food do you like? Like because I've made it my mission to try out all sorts of different cuisines, whatever I can.
Yeah.
So since you've traveled all so much, like let's start with Pakistan. What was your favorite cuisine here? What was your favorite food that you tried here?
I will eat anything. I'm not a
Uh,
fussy eater, so I will
you're just like
try.
me in that way.
Yeah, I'll try all food. I think for me, because I'm from England, I can't really do a lot of spice. So Pakistan, I was a little bit nervous about the food, but actually in the north it was okay. So I do like a chicken curry. That's probably my favorite go-to. But I'll eat anything. Like they have a lot of lamb and stuff there, which is really nice. And I love like the parathas you get with it and the proper. Since I've been to Pakistan, everything in England tastes quite plain now because of the flavors in Pakistan so like strong. So yeah, that's been really interesting. But no, the food in Pakistan is amazing.
Well, I'm glad that you mentioned like you tried all the food in North because uh, quick warning, if you come to Karachi, the spice level goes like incredibly up.
I've heard the biryani. Yeah, I avoided.
Just be careful when you eat anything in Karachi. And like the palate, if you compare like Sindh and Punjab, in the palate in Sindh is very different from the palate in Punjab. Punjab is relatively a lot more mild as compared to everywhere in Sindh, right?
Yeah,
So if you go to Lahore, the biryani you get here and the biryani you get there, they're poles apart considerably.
yes,
But
yeah,
altogether, the food here is like we were known for our food,
yeah.
technically. So I'm glad you tried chicken karai. Like a lot of people, they just go to different restaurants only to try either chicken karai or lamb karai. I don't think I've ever tried a beef karai. I don't think that even exists. I may be wrong,
I did
but like,
try a chapli kebab, and that pushed my
yes,
spice level to it was a little bit too much for me.
it is. Like quite nice. Okay, let me recommend a few. You've probably heard of biryani, right?
Yes, yeah, yeah,
Yes, everybody has. So
yeah.
I would recommend biryani. Yeah, I would also recommend you to try different kinds of fish that we have. Like we don't just fry our fishes, we also have them like if you go to someone's house, They can
Yeah.
even prepare it in gravy and everything. So it tastes
Yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah.
Personally, I'm not a big fan of fried food. Oh, there you go.
So
There's
the question is, do
biryani.
we do biryani with potato or without potato? That's the controversial question, isn't it?
Oh yeah, that is controversial. Okay, so I've seen it some countries, like excluding Pakistan. Like I guess I don't, maybe in India, maybe in other countries, maybe Nepal or Bangladesh, maybe they
Yeah.
put eggs in their biryani, and I
Oh,
was like,
really?
no, no, don't do that. I get it, like it's like it's poultry, like
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of, but
yeah,
you don't do that.
yeah.
Here, it will be considered wrong altogether.
Yeah, I don't
Even
think in England
Punjab,
you'd put
even same.
egg with rice either.
So yes, okay, yeah, fun fact. There's like I mentioned, Punjab and Sindh, right? There are
Yeah.
many different types of biryanis. Okay, Rafi, could you like search types of biryani? Because I'm not kidding. There should be at least 10 different types. Go to all. Go to all. Like there are like 24 types of biryani. Everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yes, even a lot of people don't know that. It's like a lot. Like
I'll have whichever one's the least spiciest.
yes, you should definitely stick to the ones you find in Punjab. There you go. Okay, there's also one more thing I would suggest you try. Halim. It's like a mixture of pulses. Like it takes like a really long time to make. You add so many pulses in it, and you keep mixing it all night, and it's like very hard. And
I do.
but it tastes amazing. It's like thick
Yeah.
gravy, kind of, and it's got like pieces of chicken in it and all. So and it depends. You can have it like really spicy as well. They give you like on the side. They give you like uh, ginger. They give you spices. They give
Okay.
Are you saying something, Rafi?
Okay.
Okay, I think we're back. So yes, I would suggest Halim. And the last thing I would suggest is, and only try this if you have a really strong stomach. It's Nahari.
Okay. You're not selling it to me.
I would be very honest with you on that. Like there are like a lot of people, a couple of my friends who went abroad, and then when they came back, they tried Nahari and they kind of got an upset stomach because of that. So this is like really heavy.
Okay,
But
I'll probably
if you want
leave
to try
that.
it, you can definitely bites. Usually it's got like we've got chicken in it, we've got lamb in it, we've got beef in it as well. Some Haris also have camel meat in it. So all of
Okay.
that. This is what it looks like.
I have to admit, I'm more of a sweet tooth, so I like halwa. When I tried that in Pakistan, that was amazing. So I'm definitely more of a sweet tooth than I am savory.
I would be asking you a couple of questions. Rebecca, people are also intrigued, like you have been to Pakistan and there are a lot of people who haven't been to the Britain in general. So what do you personally think if a person or a tourist that is coming in from Pakistan should visit in Britain, or what cultures and traditions he must experience to get the most of the exposure when he comes to England?
So London's a really good place to visit. So obviously they've got, the royal family are there. You've got the London Eye. There's a lot of sightseeing and museums, the history, the river. You can see a lot in London. That's a really good place to start. There's beautiful English countryside as well, though. It's a bit like Pakistan. You've got the cities and then you've got the northern areas, which are very sort of rural. So it's very different. Manchester's a really good city to see. Liverpool's really good. Newcastle as well, my hometown. They're all beautiful places, some lovely beaches as well. In terms of food, probably the classic British fish and chips is always a good one to have with tartar sauce. That's probably the classic British thing to do. What else is there to see? Yeah, just have a wander around, speak to people, enjoy. It's very, very different from Pakistan in terms of the smells, the sounds, just how everything's done. The weddings are different, how things are celebrated is different. So yeah, just get involved.
Okay, so we do have events like Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Azha, and there are many other occasions we celebrate, be it the Defense Day or events like these that actually tell history of a country or the importance that we have for it. Are there any events that the people of Pakistan should know, and the history behind those events that are must to know for any other person that visit Britain in the near future?
Yeah, so in England we have things called bank holidays. So they're sort of set days off throughout the year that mark an occasion. So things like the Queen's Jubilee, we'll have a day, we'll celebrate the Queen's Jubilee, or we'll mark an occasion for summertime. We don't have like National Ramadan or fasting or any of the Eid occasions that you guys have. Um, we don't tend to have sort of national parties like that, which is a shame, really, compared to Pakistan, where you all come together and you celebrate one thing. It's slightly different. But yeah, no, we do have set days to mark the Queen and special occasions like that. Christmas as well. Sorry, Christmas is the big one. So in England, we have Christmas Day, which is the 25th of December. So that's a massive run up to that. So pretty much all of December is geared towards this day. And on Christmas Eve, people will get things ready. So we have a Christmas tree that you decorate with ornaments, and you wrap presents, you put them under the tree. You have a big dinner. So you have like a big Christmas dinner with all your family round with different meats and dishes. You all open presents together and you have music on and you spend time with family. That is probably the biggest thing in English culture as well. And I suppose things like Halloween. So we have in October, we have a thing called Halloween. So you dress up. It could be anything, and you go and you get sweets from neighbors. The children go out. We have, different occasions throughout the year, like Valentine's Day. That's a very British thing to do as well. So yeah, we do celebrate things like that, but not as big as Ramadan or Eid.
Oh, wonderful. Also about the fact that in Pakistan, there are certain locations that reflect our sentimental value. For example, Wagah border. If you've been to Lahore while you were in Pakistan, there is a specific place known as Wagah border, which tells our history, or if we are in that particular place in time, we get reminded of the fact that we got independence in that particular sector. And
Yeah.
I confidently believe that Britain itself would have so many historical places that could reflect its significance. So, any of the few places that you like to share and mention them so the people could know about that too.
Probably London. London's got a lot of history in it as well, through the things that have happened in Britain. Jersey, where I currently live, there's a lot of German history sculptures there from the World War that are all still intact from when Britain was involved in that. So if you're interested in history, that's a really good place to go and visit and be part of that as well. But the history throughout Britain is going to be in every town that you see, whether it's Manchester, Newcastle, or London. There's special areas of interest wherever you go there. The Palace, the Tower of London, Big Ben, that sort of place.
Wonderful. Is there anything about your country that you dearly love, or like you want other people to know that this is the thing that means a lot to you in your particular country?
I think Britons, we all come together when we need to, and we're very passionate about what we do, and we all work really hard, and it's a really good place in terms of education and stuff like that, and we're very passionate about the Queen and the royal family as well. And I know the Queen's been to visit Pakistan in the past as well. So yeah, I think that's probably the pride of Britain is that really.
Food, and another question, Rebecca.
Yeah,
Food is where all people connect. And considering
yeah.
to the taste that you've seen in Pakistan, what food would you recommend? Like you said, fish and chips
Yeah.
go all the way for the people over there. But any other food that would tell us about that we're in Britain? Because I've heard a lot of stories that there's a great food available and there are very good food chains normally. So anything that you personally like over there, and any person that would come from Pakistan, you would definitely make them try that.
I think a classic British Sunday dinner is a really good one. It always brings the family together. It's very different to Pakistan in terms of the way you eat. So in Pakistan, I noticed that you all eat from the communal thing and you all sit together, which is really, really nice. And I really enjoyed being part of that. In England, we all kind of sit at the table. It's all very formal, and we all share a Sunday dinner that way. So it's an interesting experience to do both. But yeah, definitely try a Sunday dinner. So it's kind of like roasted meat, roasted potatoes, which are amazing, parsnips and vegetables, mashed potato. So yeah, it's really nice, and it's a classic British dish that you'll find anywhere in restaurants across Britain if you want to try that. And then the classic fast food chains, McDonald's, KFC, if you're interested in those sort of things. But yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
sure.
after
Babar
that,
would have a lot of friends who
yeah,
have.
now I'm gonna intervene now, if that's all right.
Yeah, now we're talking about food.
So we're talking about food, but you know, food is always the best thing to talk about. And I kind of just remembered a question. I saw this video where this guy was comparing the McDonald's in Pakistan with the McDonald's in the UK, and I was like, "Is there a difference?" So, like, is there a difference?
I didn't try McDonald's in Pakistan because that's not what I went to Pakistan for.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I don't know, to be honest. The first thing to obviously note is it won't be halal, or there'll be very few places that will be halal. So obviously, if someone's coming from Pakistan to England, they will have to find somewhere that offers halal food.
We tend to have this belief on halal and everything. So yes, I mean, kind of to each their own, right?
Yeah, but no, in terms of McDonald's, I think the classic thing in Britain is obviously the Big Mac. I don't know if you've got that in Pakistan. Yeah, yeah. Cheeseburger, quarter pounder. That's probably the classic ones here, I think.
Exactly. Yeah, it's true. Okay, so I personally want to talk about culture because Pakistan is already very rich in culture. But before we get to that, I want to know about the culture in the UK, about the British culture, whatever you want to share, whatever you know, and then let's pick up the conversation from there.
Okay. So what would you like to know about the British culture? Just what?
Okay, here's this. Do you have any siblings?
Yes. So I've got an older brother called Matthew and a younger sister called Emily.
That's nice. That's wonderful. Okay, I'm going to teach you something. I don't know if you heard this. Whenever we hear something nice in Pakistan, just like we say Assalamu alaikum, that's Arabic, right? What do we say?
Mashallah.
Yes. Okay, I am so impressed right now. Like, I am like blown away. Thank you for taking the time and getting to know all these things. And that is what we're trying to do here. Like, okay, let's talk about terminology. Do you have like certain terms that you use in the British? Like, certainly only in the British English.
Okay. Yeah, we're very polite, so we'll queue for everything. So in Britain, you stand in a queue. Pakistan, I'm not sure if you do that. So you will wait in line, and if people push in front, you'll just let them, and it's very please, thank you, may I. We're very, very kind of up to front with our manners in England.
That is wonderful.
Yeah. But in terms of how does that compare to Pakistan?
Well, if you were to stand in a line in an ATM, usually people do stand in the queue, but we kind of gather together. It's like we sometimes at one point forget that there was actually a line, and then people just remember. The good thing is people remember, okay, this guy was here first, this guy was here first, I'm next after this guy. So because there's like sometimes when there's a huge space, usually there's like a small space, right? But when there's a huge space, people just relaxed and they're chill. They're like, okay, I'm just gonna stand next to the stairs or next to the pole or next to the wall. But when my turn comes, somebody's going to eventually tell me. So sometimes it's a good thing. But sometimes the queue is also a good thing. But we kind of we Pakistanis, I feel like we're very flexible.
Britons are very, very, in terms of crossing the road, for example. So when I went to Pakistan, it was kind of like
everybody was crossing the road at the same time.
In England, you sit, you press the button, you wait for the light, you wait for the green man, then you go, and sort of it's very, very different. Driving as well.
That is something we ought to learn from every other country. There is something we should be doing, but it's always good to be flexible, but not too flexible.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was talking about the siblings, right? So the reason I mentioned siblings was that and along with a lot of people, we got these particular memories with our siblings, right? That kind of added to us growing up. Like me and my siblings, we had this Saturday night movie at Disney, right? Like on Disney Channel, Saturday night, there used to be like a movie night, right? So we used to order like burgers and like get like a cold drink, and we used to like get chips and stuff. So every Saturday night was that for us. So that kind of ended up becoming a subculture to our culture.
Yeah.
So did you have anything like that?
Yeah, I think on a Friday night, my family, we would all put a film on and get some sweets and get a takeaway, and we'd all sit around together and do that, or we go to the beach on the weekend as a family and have a walk. So yeah, things like that we would always try and do, or we'd go to a park and play at the park for a little bit. So my brother's 2 years older than me, so we were quite close. My sister's a few years younger, so she was kind of a little bit behind. So yeah, we would just go off and explore, climb trees, do that sort of thing. So
my sister used to do the same thing. My younger sister, she used to get really tired. She's 21 now, but back when she was like 8 or 10, she used to get really tired. I've got another sister who's 11 right now, and when she was like 5 or 4, when she used to get tired, we used to pick her up. Like I used to pick her up on my shoulders and everything. So that was that, right? Okay, that was just a general subculture, and this is something that we kind of have in common, right?
Yeah. What's the history of Pakistan?
Yes. Ooh, that's a good one. We are 75 years old. We turned 75 this year in August, and like everyone knows.
Is it 14th of August?
Yes, on the 14th of August.
Yay.
Wonderful. let's shift everything a little towards Pakistan as well.
Okay.
How good is your Urdu, by the way? Let's try.
Thodi bahut.
So if there's anything you don't understand, let's convert the conversation into a mix of English and Urdu. If I say anything you don't understand, feel free to ask me at any time, all right? I would be happy to.
Okay.
ठीक है, तो अगर हम पाकिस्तान की बात करें तो पाकिस्तान का आजाद हुआ था 1947 14 अगस्त को, like we all know, right? अब वहाँ पे things were actually this is bad for me as well since I'm used to talking in English, and I feel like everyone who's watching right now would be laughing at
people like me very confused.
So we're in the same boat technically. So वहाँ पे like our prime minister, like our president at the time was Qaid-e-Azam. I think it was president back then, and then it converted into prime minister being the head of the country. And then Pakistan में बहुत सारे, like there's been a lot of bad times for Pakistan altogether, right? Bad leaders after Qaid-e-Azam and all. And I'm not following my own rule. Usually पाकिस्तान के जो लोग हैं उनका सबसे बड़ा इश्यू है, सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम या मसला है, वो ये रहा है कि हम अभी तक इतना आगे डेवलप क्यों नहीं हुए compared to everyone else. Like, previous generation की अगर हम बात करें, the generation before us, they were okay with most of the things. But the current revolution in Pakistan right now, it's a bit controversial to say as well, but we kind of see that things are not as good as people make it out for us.
Yes.
अच्छी चीज होनी रही है. Because there's like a couple of problems in Pakistan. We've got the currently flood जो है, that would not have happened if there was proper management. ऐसा नहीं होता अगर proper management नहीं होती. So Pakistan has a very strong independence, I would say.
Yeah.
Because there was, initially India was the whole place, right? There was Balochistan भी वहाँ पे था, sorry, Bangladesh वहाँ पे था, Pakistan भी वहीं पे एक टुकड़ा है उसका, एक portion है उसका, and then India altogether being the subcontinent, right? So वहाँ पे सब कुछ India के अंडर था. So partition majorly किस बात पे हुआ था? Because of the religious aspect, right? India में mostly the Hindu culture prevailed. And in Pakistan, the ideology was to separate the Muslims into their own country. So that was the initial ideology. We had to fight a lot for that. And when it happened, everyone did kind of get what they wanted, I would say.
Okay.
Because like you said, right? हमारे जो festivals हैं, हम वहाँ ये openly practice कर सकते हैं. That is one of the best things. And the thing I love most about Pakistan is like Pakistan is just not Muslims, right? We have Christian community, we have a Hindu community, we've got a Sikh community, we've got almost all the communities, right? They have all the right to do whatever they please.
Yeah.
They have me included. I actually participate in the Hindu customs and cultures and their festivals, and a lot of people do that as well. And that is what makes Pakistan very diverse.
Yeah.
And I think the flexibility वाला जो element था, that is actually what we're kind of all about. Hospitality and flexibility.
Yeah, hospitality is the thing for me that I experienced firsthand when I went to Pakistan, and it was kind of sad when I came back to England because it was like people weren't as nice. So,
let's try a little Urdu.
Okay, acha.
You can say no to if you want it. Like, I want to see,
I can only say words. I'm not like fully fluent yet, so I can understand.
Let me help you with that.
Okay, acha. But what was I saying? Sorry. Oh yeah, about the hospitality. Just the way people are in Pakistan is just something I've never experienced. How nice they are. They're just so they can't do enough for you, and it makes me really sad that the image, I know you were saying about the way Pakistan is portrayed sometimes, um, in England. I'm trying to change that by doing things like this and sharing my experience firsthand. And I go to the Eid dues and I try and do as much as I can. And part of the YouTube channel that we've set up to try and promote the image of Pakistan, that it's so different from what I seen in the media before I went out there. The things I was reading about, where I was going, and it made me sort of go, oh, should I be going here? Should I be doing this? And it was just the complete opposite to what I had in my head, and the people were just so kind. And then I've never experienced anything like it. And seeing what's happening at the minute with the floods, these are the places I was at 12 weeks ago, literally the villages, the houses that I stayed in, the people that I met there. And it's breaking my heart because, I was firsthand there and I saw it. And, we're trying to do as much as we can in England to raise as much money and drive and help the people there, because they don't deserve it, and they deserve so much more than this and the image that has been portrayed of Pakistan as well. And I am doing my utmost to change that, I promise. And I've never met such nice people, and I've never visited such a nice country, so hats off to you guys.
You have no idea how much these words of yours mean to us. Like, it means everything to us.
Because
there you go.
It'll come out every now and again.
I am so grateful that you're making an effort like this, especially that you're going and talking and trying to change our image. Because अगर हम ऐसे बात करें और हम अपना आप को represent करें, तो वहाँ पे फिर people won't believe us. They're trying to change that image that we already have of them. So why should we believe them? So if it's coming from, like, if you're in the UK and you are a British citizen, and you're born there, so if they listen to you and if they hear you talking about it, they would actually listen to you because the source that it's coming from is more authentic to them.
Yeah, well, this is what we're trying to do. When we've come back and I've told all my friends and family about it, we've shown them the videos. We're making these travel videos from the trip to show people, like, I'm a British girl. I went there on my own, and I felt completely safe. The things you read in the media about, the unsafe areas of Pakistan, the police couldn't have been nicer. I had a conversation. I went to a girls' school to see how firsthand the education, how it was in Pakistan compared to how it's portrayed back in England. And it just was completely different. And it made me really, really sad that it is portrayed like that. And it's further from the truth, and Pakistan is such a beautiful place, it's got one of the best mountain ranges in the world, the hospitality, the food, the culture, as you say. For me, it's just as interesting to learn about Pakistan as it is you learning about England, so it's really beautiful.
Okay, what is the word for wonderful in Urdu?
Is it Zabardast?
Yes. I don't have anything left to teach you.
Jo baate so hai.
There you go. I have nothing left to teach you.
I've got so much Urdu to learn. I'm nearly there, but yeah, I'm trying.
You know the major words. That is incredible.
I can count to 10. I can say, I can say a few things, but
cool. Okay, one of the things that I feel like that is imposed in everyone's culture is the attire, right? Because even right now I'm wearing a traditional shalwar kameez.
Oh yes,
it's black right now, but we've got like multicolored shalwar kameez. Like, this is usually for the men and women. Women also wear, like, on the men's dresses, even on the shalwar kameez, they're like some on the collar. Like, it's not on mine, but you have like little jewelry embossed on it, and it's like bedazzled. But the women's outfits, they're like incredibly bedazzled. Like, bedazzled basically. बहुत चमक होती है उसपे.
Yeah.
The chamak is the word, shiny.
Yeah, shiny.
So, we've got all of these. What about the culture in England? What kind of clothes that are like holds historical significance?
I think in terms of when you go to work and when you're outside of work, they're very, very different. So when you go to work, you have to look quite formal. So a lot of people wear like suits, proper smart jackets, trousers. Women tend to wear dresses or dress really nicely for work. And outside of work, it's quite casual. The thing I noticed that was very different for me is the sort of things I've seen about Asian weddings. So you have very different dresses, different colors, different days of different colors, like the mayo and the Niqab and everything else is very different to English, where it's very white dress, and it's just very different. But no, I love the Pakistan dress. You know, I've got one at home that I've brought back from Pakistan. It's very comfortable, actually. So yeah.
Would you want to change that about like? Would you like to introduce that in the UK? Like ever? Like how about we try these clothes as well?
Yeah, I think people do wear, you know, the Asian community in Britain, they do wear them. You know, my friends back in Jersey, they wear them all the time, and it's not frowned upon. It's people wouldn't really judge you for that. So yeah, hopefully it will become more of a thing. So
Great, yeah.
yeah.
Okay, I just remembered something. You know, on Fridays we have this special prayer called the Jummah
Jumma
prayer.
thing,
Yeah, like
yeah.
the Jummah prayer, right? So on Fridays at every workplace, you are allowed. Every guy is allowed to wear shalwar-kameez.
Yeah.
Yeah. So because for the women, we don't have a specific dress code for them, and
Right.
they can wear exactly literally whatever they want. And some offices, some companies do have a dress code for men and women, but usually it's very flexible. Especially for the women, it's very flexible. So like on Fridays, we can wear something really comfortable because a suit can get tiring.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think, I mean, for me
Yeah.
personally, I work in a laboratory, so I'm always in a lab coat in a hospital, so it doesn't really matter what I wear to work. But yeah, so it depends where you work, I suppose.
Mhm. What do you do? Like I never got that, and you never
I,
told me either way.
I'm a scientist, so I do blood testing. So I do transfusion and hematology. So I look at blood and look at the cells and diagnose things like malaria or leukemia. Test the blood transfusions before it's given to a
Mhm.
patient. So that's my job to do that. So I'm always in a lab coat. So
But honestly, in my opinion, being a scientist, it is incredibly difficult because I never understood science altogether. And somebody who is a scientist, I'm like, dude, respect, so much
uh,
respect.
you either love it or you hate it. You know, it's one of
It
those
is that with
things.
every profession, right?
Yeah.
Because
No,
I
I
don't
love.
think I'll ever be going back to accountancy ever.
Uh,
That is a one door closed.
no, I love what I do, and you know, it makes me feel like I'm helping people, and you know, I understand it and I can do it, and it makes me feel good going to work. You know, you have that feeling of I really enjoy my job, and it makes a difference to people, which is what matters most to me is helping people. So yeah, I'm really proud of what I do, to be honest.
And we're all proud of that, honestly. If you're helping people, then you're not just doing it for yourself, you're doing it for any person you're helping. That is something to be incredibly proud
Yeah, thank you, Shukriya.
of. So yes, I had another question in mind. You feel free to ask me anything you want as well. This should be
Okay.
two-way, right? I'm usually
Okay.
the one asking questions. So jump right in whenever you feel comfortable.
Okay.
Okay. So this thing about souvenirs, like when you were
Yeah.
here, what kind of souvenirs did you like gather, pick up, or you were like, I want to get this?
I got given a really nice tribal hat from
Mhm.
the northern areas. That was really nice.
Okay.
And I can't remember the name of them, the tribal blanket, like the kind of blankets that you wrap around.
I don't know
Uh,
what it's called.
yeah, I don't know what it's called.
I may remember. Anyone in the comments can tell us, like if there are comments. Also, you can
Yeah,
like drop it in the chat.
yeah, but that they're really nice things that you can bring home. I didn't really bring much home really because I was just out enjoying myself so much on the hike, and I didn't really do much shopping, to be honest. I'm not somebody who enjoys going shopping. So no, in terms of souvenirs in Britain, there's loads of things you can buy and bring back if you want to. But what would you
That's
recommend from
okay.
Pakistan? What sort of thing would you recommend?
Okay, recommendations from Pakistan. We usually, okay, since you mentioned hats, we have a hat or like a dress code or an attire from every different region. If you're in Sindh, it's different. For Baloch, it's different. For
Yeah,
Punjabis, it's different. So the clothes and the food are the two major things that we contribute to our culture. Religion being the one of the important ones as well, but religion being something that you cannot really impose on anyone. So we're like, we'll introduce you to that. But again, it's completely your choice if you want to participate or not. So if the thing that we would actually tell you to do would to, dress our way or, join us for dinner, join us for food, recommendations would be,
bring mangoes back. That's my
there you go,
recommendation.
there you go. Now you're thinking. Bring mangoes. How about salt lamps? I think we've got a lot. Like, do you have salt lamps over there?
Oh yeah, but I think they're kind of sold as Nepalese Himalayan
Mhm.
salt lamps. They're probably from the same areas of Pakistan,
Yes,
but
yes, they are.
they're kind of branded as from Nepal. So that would be a really good thing to try and change as well.
Uh-huh. You could do that too. I would suggest you to get as many clothes as you can here. And
Yeah.
if the food is preservable, take it with you. Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
fantastic. We've got like dried fruits, right? Dried up fruits, not just your almonds
Yes.
and your nuts and everything, but we've got like a couple of places. think I saw the shop in Hyderabad once and a couple of other places. They dry up fruits and then you can just,
Yeah.
they sugarcoat them and everything, and then you can just, take them to go. So
Oh
I
yeah,
would
the
say,
dates
do
are
they have that
amazing.
in the UK?
Yeah, we have them, but they're very, very expensive in the UK compared to Pakistan. I mean, everything in the UK is expensive when you compare to Pakistan, the mangoes and everything. But the food, yeah, the dates. We went to this farm in the northern areas of Pakistan. It was a peach and plum trees. I've never tasted fruit as beautiful as that, and just the sweet. It was so fresh. It was just absolutely beautiful. So yeah, definitely bring some of those home if you're coming back.
Mangoes.
Oh yeah, there they are.
I think we've got 4 to 5 types of mangoes as well. The ones I remember are
Yeah.
Sindri and there's such types of mangoes. Sindri, Chosa, and yeah, that these are the types I remember, and they're like at least 4 or 5.
I
So,
know
like
when
I said,
I
please
so
continue.
yeah, when I bought a Pakistan mango back in Jersey, I know my friends were laughing at me because I was chopping it the wrong way, and I was, oh, that's not how you cut a mango, that's not how you do it. We don't do it like that in Pakistan.
Cool, cool, cool. Okay, we were on souvenirs, right? So,
Yes,
what
yeah,
would
yeah.
you recommend for someone who's visiting the UK for the first time? What should they get as a souvenir?
To take back to Pakistan.
Yes.
Um, to be honest, I don't know. Maybe just a nice British keyring, or there's loads of souvenir shops that have things like that for gift buying. Because I don't really go in them, I don't really know what sort of things you could take back. Um, yeah, I think just more experiences than souvenirs would be my suggestion, is just to go and take as many pictures and see as many things as you can.
I would remember that because even in Pakistan, it's the experiences more than the souvenirs.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
the
just
memory's
something
more
about,
important than materialistics, isn't it? So yeah.
that's very true. Do you have like an Instagram page or something? Like, do you make
Yeah,
vlogs or videos?
yeah. So the YouTube channel is Chamois Mango. So Chamois was the town that I stayed at, and the mangoes, because we love mangoes. So Chamois Mangoes and all of
You should, okay,
the
if you really love mangoes so much, you should come around May or June again because that is the main peak season when we get mangoes.
yeah,
Besides any other time, you won't really be getting fresh mangoes, even if you get some. Like they'll
yeah.
probably be preserved from somewhere. Only a few supermarkets will be selling them, or maybe they would be imported. So May, June, July, these are like the peak seasons for mangoes.
Okay, I'll have to buy them all in May then.
Right, definitely.
Yeah, no, so the YouTube channel is Chamois Mangoes, and Facebook as well. There's an Instagram and everything for that as well. If you want to like and subscribe, that would be
I will,
great.
yes. Yes, I would definitely subscribe after this.
Brilliant. Thank you.
It's my pleasure. Okay, any questions for me?
So what's your favorite food in Pakistan? Like what's your favorite dish and where are you from?
That's a good one. Our conversation just revolves around food, right? Okay, what is my favorite? That's a good one. Like you, no, like both of us, I'm not a picky eater as well. Uh, I think I can eat biryani at least twice a week easily. And
Okay.
okay, there's this one thing called shirmal. Have you tried that?
No.
It's like sweet bread. It's like it's roti, right?
Yeah.
It's like very sweet, thick roti. Like
Okay.
that's the easiest way I can describe it. It is very sweet. And okay, he's gonna show you as well. Thank you,
Okay.
Rakesh.
Okay.
These are shirmals. And they're like the one
Okay.
on the fourth one is my favorite because you've got sweet
Oh,
ones as well, you've got spicy ones as well, you've got
do
long ones, you've got small ones, you've got a lot.
you have this for breakfast?
You can have this for breakfast as well.
I think I may have tried this actually.
Okay. You can have this for breakfast. You can have this as a meal with chai as well. You can have this with
Yeah.
chai.
Oh, the chai tea is so beautiful compared, yeah, in Pakistan.
Sharon. Okay. Speaking of Ed Sheeran, do you have any favorite band?
Um, Do I have any favorite? I'm actually listening to a lot of Urdu music at the minute, so because it's helping me learn Urdu. So I listen to anything really. I listen to any music.
That's very nice. Okay, Rafe, is it possible for us to play a Pakistani song? I've got one in mind right now. It was like
Yeah, sure.
you can, right?
What's the name of the song? What's the name of the song?
It's called Junoon, I think, by Haroon.
Okay, I don't know if I've heard this one.
It goes a little like this. It basically talks about never giving up and always follow your passion and your dreams. And it's from this Pakistani artist called Haroon. And we've got a lot of Pakistani artists, and Haroon, he goes to the UK a lot as well. And he's had like a lot of concerts all over the world. He's one of the really famous ones. Shahzad Roy, and there was like how many? These are the ones I listened to a lot as a kid growing up. And yeah, Rafe, whenever we're ready. Okay, Rafe?
Yeah. Just a second.
So where are you from in Pakistan? Where did you grow up?
Karachi.
Karachi, okay.
Yeah, I've always been in Karachi. I've traveled a little bit here and there, but my roots are all from Karachi.
Oh, gotcha.
Mostly, like most of the people in Karachi are from India, like including myself. All of us, like a lot of us migrated from here and there, right? So like a lot of people you'll find they have roots from India. So that is Qaid Azam, and the one below him is Alam.
It's very good. It brings on another point about the cricket teams in Pakistan. So cricket's famous in Pakistan, isn't it?
This video was actually kind of based on Pakistan. It wasn't the original video. But let me translate the lyrics for you. It's like Jazba Junoon ho to himmat na haar. If you have passion, okay, the light. Somebody switch off the light. Person, mama. Okay, now there's this thing in this room, like when you switch it off once and turn it on, the light changes color.
Okay.
And now it's back to being white again. So yes, that was my mom. So like Jazba Junoon is passion, ho to himmat na haar. Then never lose faith.
Okay.
And the rest of the lyrics were Jazba Junoon himmat na haar.
Jastaju jo kare wo chhuye asman.
Yes, Jastaju jo kare wo chhuye asman. Jastaju is like efforts. Chhuye asman. Chhuye is touch, and asman is your sky.
The sky, so the sky. Asman Shinde is Bushdo for the sky is blue.
Yes. So
you just made me remember that there.
Wonderful. So if you have passion, you work hard, you'll reach your destination. If you have aspiration, you will reach that point. This was made sometime in the 90s, and this was like kind of like that period when Pakistani music was kind of transitioning with the rock element as well, rock and pop all together. Our history in music is also like pretty different. Like we had, like if you ever get time, or if one of us ever gets time, we would love to share some of like Pakistan's old historical music with you.
Yeah, no, I'd love to hear that. I do like the movies as well. The movies are very different to English movies. So I started watching those again with the subtitles to try and help learn Urdu. And the music, the dancing, it's really, really good.
That's right. Like even the music and the movies, they all add to the culture, right?
Yeah.
They do. I watched this one British sitcom, a couple of British sitcoms. There was like Mind Your Language. I watched that growing up. And there was this other one called The IT Crowd.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm more into comedy, so I kind of watch both of them, and I absolutely love those shows.
Yeah.
So would you recommend any kind of movies for us that we can watch from the UK? like
It
made in the
depends.
UK?
They're big on horror films in the UK, which is not really my thing.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of horror things, a lot of comedy, romance. So it depends what you're into. But yeah, there's in Britain we're big sort of film lovers and movie watchers. So there's plenty to see
What
if you
is
want to
your
do.
favorite? Which one is your favorite?
I like comedy, to be honest. Yeah,
Like,
I'm
there's
not
another thing we have in common. Like now the count is up to three. See,
teen.
it's not, it's not even just us. I feel like people from all over the world, we will eventually have something in common.
Yeah.
Because at the end, people are just people, right? We're
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of
yeah.
all the same, or either we're not at all. And I feel like we're more same than different.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
So, your favorite movie?
Um,
Or
my
any
favorite.
recent you've watched?
Okay, my favorite movie was a movie that actually made me want to be a scientist.
Mhm.
So it was a film called Outbreak, which is about the Ebola virus, and I used to watch it when I was really young, and it really fascinated me, and it made me want to learn about viruses and science and stuff. So probably that it's an old classic one. Things that I used to watch with my dad, very classic like Shawshank Redemption, Castaway, very dad-like films. So yeah, but yeah, just that sort of thing. Or I'll watch any comedy though.
Straight, same. Have you watched? Okay, this is going to be a very stupid question, but have you watched Friends?
Yes, yeah,
Yes. I
yeah,
feel like everybody's watched Friends. Good.
yeah, yeah. No, yeah, I haven't watched it in a very long time. And when I,
I
when I
mean,
was growing up, I used to love Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I don't know if you've watched
yeah,
that.
I've
That
watched
was
Buffy the Vampire Slayer as well.
yeah, that was one of my favorites. So yeah, that was I still like to watch that now as well. I go back and remember, and it takes me back in time to when I was at school.
Cool, that's very nice.
So
Nostalgia
what's
is
your
always
favorite
something.
film?
My favorite. Okay, the one that I can rewatch anytime is 17 again, the one Zac Efron starred in. I
Okay,
don't know
yeah.
because I was 10 when I watched it, and something about the movie that I just really loved about it. How he
Okay.
got young and how he interacted with his kids again. I feel like if I ever became a parent and if that ever happened to me, I would realize that my kids are really into some things that I may never even know of. Then I
Yeah,
realized my parents won't even ever find out what I'm into, which is all good things.
yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
maybe don't say it on air if it's not.
no, I think my parents and I we've got a really good bond. Like I tell them everything. I'm like very open about everything to them. I mean, between you and me, and everybody else who's watching, I do tell my parents of all the dates I'm going on. So yeah,
Uh,
so it's like very good. I think parents should have that kind of bond with their kids.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I like watch 17 again at any time, anywhere. It's just like it was just funny altogether.
yeah. Oh, that's
That was
good.
funny.
So,
Yeah,
so how many siblings have you got?
I've got five siblings. I'm the second one. My
Okay,
sister, okay, the funny thing, like full disclosure, I'm from a family of accountants.
okay, right,
Yeah. Hence why I was also becoming an accountant, right?
okay,
My dad, like if I talk about my entire family, my dad, he works in National Bank. Like it's the second biggest bank in the country. And my mom, she's a housewife, and I've got five siblings. Oldest
okay,
being Rida. Her name is Rida, and she is currently in the UK as well. She is working in KPMG, Isle of Man.
okay,
She's there right now, and I'm leading the second one. I I'm a teacher. I teach like I've taught in my. I started my teaching career straight from universities. I didn't like. I wanted to go into schools first. Like I wanted to start off from somewhere small and then work my way towards that. But the good thing that happened to me was I started from like teaching at a university. So then I kind of built up my career around that as well. So I had to work really hard in terms of that. So I became an English teacher. I have another brother, like the one after me. His name is Silver, and he is currently working in GT, Grant Thornton. It's a CA firm as well. He's currently going through his articleship right now. And I've got another sister. She's doing ACCA from like she's in Karachi right now,
okay.
but ACCA UK. She's doing that. And I've got a 10-year-old, 10 or she's going to be 11 next month, and she's just having the best time ever.
Oh, well, shabash for doing so well and working so hard to get where you are today.
Thank you. Means a lot. Yeah, how have you liked the session so far? I
Oh,
hope it
it's
was
really,
good.
really good. Yeah, I hope it's going well.
Likewise. No, likewise. It was like wonderful having you, honestly. I personally had a really good time. I hope the feelings mutual.
Yes, of course. G.
Okay, do you have any parting words? Like, if you like, let's not end it per se. Let's just say, if you have any parting words for us, or a message, or anything you would like to change in Pakistan or change in the UK, what would it be? And then I'll answer the same question.
The things I would like to change in the UK, for one, is the perception of Pakistan. So I'm working on that now, and that's my main aim to do that. and just about sort of helping more and making sure that we are helping the people that we need to help. And yeah, I think that's probably the best thing I could say for that. What about you?
Honestly, we couldn't have asked for anything more. That is one of the best things anyone could ever say to us. For me, generally, the thing I would want to change in Pakistan, we already have a good image of everyone around the world. That's why we're kind of that hospitable, right? Hospitality.
Yeah.
Hospitable, this like hospitable as well. The Karachi and Pakistan, it's all hospitable. People just don't know it yet. And we're like, we're full of hospitality. So I would want us to work a little bit on our infrastructure to make things a little bit better. For anyone who's coming abroad, like I would love it personally if we have more cultural diversity here. You know, people from the UK, the USA, Canada, even Nepal and Bangladesh, they would come here. They would find permanent residence. You know, we could all become like this Karachi and Pakistan, Islamabad all together. It could become a big hub where everyone they were coming and going, having a good time. We're close to each other, and you know, everything is fun altogether.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's like something I would like to change about Pakistan. But all in all, we're a good country. We're survivors and we're trying our best.
Yes, agreed.
Okay, with that, if we could say bye to our Facebook Live audience, and then we would end the meeting.
Okay, Allah Hafiz.
Hafiz, it was a pleasure.
Thank you very much for having me.
Okay.